Hey everybody, so as you can see, the fog outside is really bad. I'm not going to drive in it. With the deer on the move and just everything else, it's not worth the chance on getting into an accident. Uh, it's just not worth it. But in the meantime, I thought I would do some quick videos. Uh, and the one I would like to really kind of do right now is actually talking about my mother. In the last video that I did, I gave you guys all the information I really had at the time, which was not a whole lot. It was just basically saying kind of like where she was and what happened. We didn't know what the actual cause of it was, but now we have a whole lot more information, and it's not good. So, a quick rundown if you didn't see that other video. My mother had suffered something that occurred just before Thanksgiving. Her oxygen level dropped to 50%. Was a little delirious. Wasn't communicating. And when she got to the hospital, she had sepsis. She had a lot of things going on, and she was put in the ICU. So she was in the ICU for like 2 days until she became stable enough that they moved her into the MICU, which I think it's called the MICU. It's a step down of the ICU, but it's not the ICU. So yeah, doctor people down below or people that are more medical knowledge or understand hospitals could probably explain that more down in the description, or type on Google. Even if I gave you guys the right name for it, but anyway, besides the point, doesn't matter. She was still not good, but more stable, so that's good. So she was there for a while, and she was on surgery watch. We didn't know she had to go to surgery or not, based on her past medical history, which was she had a really severe GI infection before, where she had to have a lot of surgery done to fix that. So with the sepsis, the doctors were concerned that could have been a possibility, along with an issue going on with the lungs, but didn't know anything from that. So she had to stay on a liquid diet. Liquid is extremely controlled because they didn't know if she was going to have to get rushed to surgery at any time. Thankfully, that didn't happen. So on Thanksgiving, she was taken off surgery watch, and she was able to eat a little bit of Thanksgiving food, but her food intake was minimum, put it that way. They didn't want her to eat a lot due to them still not knowing what was the reason for the sepsis, and so they didn't want her intestines being overloaded with her being on a liquid diet plus TPN for several days at that point. So yeah, anyway. But during this time when I was up there at the hospital, I'd noticed that my mother was not all there. There was just things that were different that I noticed. And I was telling the nurse, I was like, look, I know my mother. There's something wrong here. And I talked to my older sister, and my sister was there with my mom, and my sister even said, yeah, something's not right. We found out a few days after Thanksgiving. It was like 2 days later. It was like a day or 2 days later. Right after I made that video post. It was like later that day or the day before. So I could actually look it up if I really wanted to. It was right around that time, though, when I updated you guys. We found out what occurred. So she had a severe lung infection in the bottom part of her lungs, but that was not even the worst of it. We don't even know when that happened. The worst of it was she suffered a stroke and suffered brain damage. Center cortex. I don't remember what the percentage of it was, but it was bad. Okay. We're talking about, when they went to discharge her, they sent her off to long-term care. She could not go home. They would not discharge her to the house. So, yeah. I lost a lot of time from work. But I do want to kind of talk about work in this whole situation I was going through. My boss, Jay, at the Walmart terminal here in Temple, Texas. Things have been really crazy with my mother, and he's made it more than clear to me. If I have to drop everything to go home, I can. And I don't want to start crying here, but Jay has taken a real active point in my mother's health, along with the other people in the office, the planners and the driver managers, have been super understanding of my stress level. Just everything. Swift really has been there a lot, and Swift has a charitable thing. I'm thinking about reaching out to them. With my mother's declining health, I've lost a lot of work, from having to go up to Denton to be with my mother, and just the sheer amount of stress, guys. So yeah, kind of broke. And this fog here isn't really helping all that much. So there's that. Anyway, my mother is out of the long-term care, but that's due to an insurance, and I don't really fully know or understand what's going on there. I just heard about it the other day, when I was talking to my mother briefly, but it has me extremely concerned. But she is over at my sister's house, and I'm trying to do what I can to try to help my older sister, even though she doesn't like it. But my mother being sick is it's taxing. She needs a lot of care. Anyway, that's kind of the update. I know a lot of you guys have been saying, sending wishes, prayers, all of that. I've been telling my mother that. My mother's been very thankful for y'all. When she was at the hospital, she actually wanted to be on video and say hi to you guys. But I just never really found the time. It was just always, doctors here, there, everywhere. Hell, me and Natalie, my girlfriend, we were up at the hospital, and the hospital remembered us, or not Natalie, but remembered me, because I was up there a lot when my dad had cancer. And so the doctors, my mother was on the same floor that my dad was, which that was hard. But anyway, the nurses, they were freaking awesome. They rolled out the blankets for us. Natalie slept on the little couch thing that they had, and I slept on the floor. I put enough blankets on there to make like a little sleeping pad. And me and Natalie, we spent a couple nights up there. They would bring us, these itty-bitty little soda cans that were like a little bit bigger than a shot glass. So, and then they had coffee, tea, stuff like that. So that was my Thanksgiving. And I went over to my sister's house. Me and Natalie both did for Thanksgiving. So, family, was definitely there. It's just the whole thing is really, really stressful in a lot of ways. Anyway, that's about, I think, as much as I'm going to put on this video. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for all the support you guys have been showing me. I try to show everything. If you watch the first few videos I did when I joined Zwift, I basically told everybody back then that you're gonna see me fail or succeed. That's not just in driving. That's not just with Zwift. That's succeeding in life and trying to get back to owning a business. Is my medical family woes part of that? Not necessarily, but it is. It's a story about me. I hope you guys enjoy it. The good and the bad. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.